how do you feel about people complaining?
Up until about a year ago, it was I didn't care. Now it's gotten to the point. I don't know if we can talk about this or not, but I've been medicating with mushrooms, and that has allowed me to see the world a little bit different. So now, when I hear someone complaining, I see a lot of things that are wrong in their life, and this sounds snobby as hell, and I don't mean it in that way, but
Okay.
I can see where that stems from, and so I kind of understand. But then I try, if it's someone I know that's around me, I try to give them a tool and say like, hey, I know you're complaining about this X, Y, and Z, but maybe you can try to fix that this way. So like, with the whole, instead of complaining, like fix it, and then
Yeah.
don't complain.
I think that's one of the things that I'm like bothered by the most, because when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety, like a lot, like to the point where I would wake up and throw up in the mornings because I was like not wanting to get to work.
I remember that.
And I realized that my problem was the way that I was processing what was happening in my life, and that I needed to sort of compartmentalize things in my head. And so I worked really hard not to have that complaining tone in my head. I get up and I'm like, okay, I got things to do, and those things have to get done, whether I like them or not, whether they're fun or not. Those things have to get done, and I have two choices, or three choices actually. I can do it neutral and just get it done like a machine, or I can be happy and get them done and play some music or do something and just get them done anyway, or I can be angry about it, complain, and do them anyway. And if I do it that way, I'll waste a lot more energy than necessary, because
that's harder. Yeah,
it's harder. I came to realize that everyone has that voice, that like that complaining voice, like we don't want to do what we have to do. I realized like, okay, so my annoyance, my complaining is my responsibility, so I'm gonna do something about it, right? The thing is that I can listen to someone complain or vent about the things that are bothering them, but when you're constantly complaining about the same thing and you're doing nothing about it,
that is annoying.
That's what gets to me. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
for the 100th time, all you need to do is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you're good. Or it's like, okay, I'm tired and my complaints, and I'm doing the best that I can to hold them in so that I don't bother you with them. Why can't you do the same? Is that unfair?
It's not unfair, but I think, at least in our culture, right, we love to complain. Everything that doesn't go well is because of some external thing. It's not because of us.
Yeah.
It's not because of our decisions. It's, alguien me hizo algo, or whatever,
My boss, it's the traffic,
yeah. So that's ingrained in us. So I don't know how other cultures deal with it, but I had to learn that everything comes from me.
Yeah.
Everything that goes wrong, like with our restaurant or with my pop-up or whatever, something goes wrong, even if I didn't do it, I feel a sense of responsibility for it, and at least I can either fix it or provide some help to fixing it. But it takes a certain, I don't know if it's mental capacity or understanding, to flip that switch and become that person. And it took me a while. I mean, from the time I realized that you had to be that person, it took me about a year to get used to that. And I'm still getting used to it. So I don't know. Like, it depends on how you're brought up and your culture and how you look at other people, and if you're empathetic to them or not, and selfish or not. I think it is selfish though to expect it from others, just plain without knowing them. I think that's a little selfish maybe.
Well, yeah, and then I become what I hate, because then I find myself complaining about those people, and it's like,
yeah, here we are right now.
Yeah, you're the irony.